Welcome to this look at a new mod pack on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a look at the 60 buildings pack that came out yesterday from Blacksheep modding. 198.72 megabytes of download. You can probably tell by the sound, just by the way that I am, not very well at all. Yesterday, couldn't even get out of bed. So I didn't do any mods or anything yesterday. Did the map tour from yesterday's new map that came out. There were about 12 mods yesterday and some updates. And if you added on this pack, which was one pack, which has got 60 buildings in it, it took the mods to 72, 75, somewhere. I mean, it was ridiculous. And you could look and say, oh, well, okay, it's 60 buildings, but this pack is spectacular. It's taking in Blacksheep modding from various different Blacksheep modding maps, the old Stream Farm, Valley Old Farm, I mean, loads. Did you name it? There's something from it. And this encompasses farmhouses, sheds, silos, tools, factories, sell points, greenhouses, orchards, animal pastures, pens, buildings, fences, decorative objects. You name it, it's covered. So, best crack on, I guess. I'm going to start here with farmhouses. I'll talk about slot counts and prices as we go. These are duplicates of the same farmhouse, just different colours. I do like the modern look, but I love the old sort of mossy, bit more kind of weather beaten, old style look to it. You can go into these buildings as well. These are 46 slots. And then the building here next to it is 31. I think that was the way around. Again, there are two of those. I've only put one of them out at the moment. So if we're going to build mode and we go along to our farmhouses, I'll then go to sheds and we'll come back. But so this is what we've got. This one here, 150 grand. And then the larger building, which is this one here, is 250 grand. And then again, 150 grand. And then the other version of this is 250 grand. And it just matches up. You've got the grey roof and the red roof. Older building and newer looking building. So if we go in the front door of this one, let's say the level of detail. If you've played any of Blacksheep modding's maps, you'll know. It's pretty cool they brought all the objects out. Why is that not giving me the option? There we go. Open wardrobe. Wardrobe there. Sleep trigger just here. We can go out the back door as well. Onto the patio. Oh, this one does have the mower as well. Oh, so it's exactly the same. That's me saying you got. I mean, that looks a little bit newer, but it is just a duplicate of the same building. Fair enough. So options are the same on that, and we can't go upstairs. And this one, you kind of recognise it more from this view, probably sweeping around the driveway and up to here, in through the gates, storage space around underneath, racking for whatever you want to put on it. Workshop triggers and stuff can be placed in here, whatever you want, and more racking, whatever you want. It's up to you. Pickups often found in this location. When we come through, we can go through this door, then through this door and in. Wardrobe trigger in the main porch. Again, that's the kind of front door technically. And our sleep trigger just here. Again, this one we can't go upstairs. That's our farmhouses. Then if we move on to sheds, there are 18 various sheds. Build mode, sheds, scroll across, and here we are, the 60 buildings pack. We start here. Now the slot counts on these are 3s, 4s, we got a couple of 9s, one at 22, which is an interesting one. Which was the one that was 22? I think it was this one. I think it was the small, because the decorative object's inside there, I think. Yeah, that one was 22, which kind of stood out a little bit, the small garage. And then 10 for the one that's right at the very end here, and this is from the AlexProdealCenter map. And this has got solar panels on the roof as well. That will earn you 840 per calendar month. But we'll scroll for another look, like I say. We'll whiz round and walk past them all. There's lighting on various different ones. So this one here, the small shelter, for £1,000. For £5,000, that one there, also a small shelter. Next, that old European style storage barn. That one's £8,000. 16 grand for the old European style barn. next to that. It looks different on the picture, but if we go to place it, that's how it's showing in the picture, and then you can rotate around the cap shed. We've then got the small garage, which is this one here, 10 grand, and then the big garage is 18 grand, which is just a larger version. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of scaled up really, just doesn't have the decorative objects inside, but that's the bigger garage for bigger machinery and equipment in there for 18 grand. Then we come to the front here, a farm barn at 13 grand with an open space at the back there. The next one along there, also a farm barn, closed in and with partition walls in it, so for storage of crops and things, or just separating out tractors that might be arguing, and you know, they can't be left next to each other, that kind of thing. Then we've got the farm barn, 2 open sections with a closed in section gated. Old European style storage shed. We've got a little bit bigger now, these gone up a sort of scale. Then large old barn, 3 bay with a sliding door section there, drive through on that bit. Again, we'll have a look when we get out there. Then we go from the grey roofed onto the red roofed farm barn, again open. And I think it's basically, it looks like duplicates. I think it's duplicates of the same ones as we go across. 13 grand, 14 grand, 15 grand. We move on to this one here at 8 grand. That one there at 22 grand. And then the AlexProdealCenter, 58 grand for that, because you get the solar panels and you can earn a bit of money per month. And then we move on to Western Wilds stuff. So that's the 18 buildings. And these obviously can be pushed up against other buildings. They can be sort of conjoined if you want to. Depends how you want to go about building them. I'm not going to keep saying it. I will take it as read. All the mods in this pack are absolute crackers as far as texturing, weathering, detail on them. They all look absolutely fantastic. There's not one that's even slightly crunchy. There's not one that looks a little bit, you know, just absolutely fantastic buildings. There's a couple I couldn't find light switches for, and the pack's not without its issues. When we get to animal pens, there's a couple where the triggers, I'm not sure, I'm having a few trigger issues. Oh, and I thought straight away, I'm thinking of the map this was on. I think I did the same thing on the map it was on. There we go. So whilst the light switch is there, the actual trigger for it is around the side. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be there or just you get inside the building and it gives you the option to turn shed lights on. We've got a garage space underneath in that one. Open through with the porch side on that, that's the cap one. And then we've got the small garage with the detail, which was 22. So as you can see, lighting, we go inside, shed lighting on and off. Then we roll across to the larger one again, much larger openings, much more space for putting some bigger equipment in, and lighting options there. Now there are light switches on the walls, but once you get into the building, it gives you the option for shed lights. But if you want to go a bit more kind of realistic, you can go to the light switches if you want to. We're going to get onto those in a little while. And we roll on the front again. This will just be walking past these because they look wonderful. Love them. The grey roofed versions, and again this one not open in so much as you can't kind of drive through on that, but this larger one, drive through this section, but also a door on the other end as well. That's a good point actually. Can we get up to that hayloft? Does that ladder move? I don't think it does. I don't know. I suppose without a telehandler or something, it'd be hard to get up to that to open it. I don't have one in my pocket at the moment. And we roll through. I do like this more sandstone look, I have to say. I do like the mossy, you know, but that sandstony look, it's nice. So if you want to build up an entire farm, you know, you've got everything here you might want to do. And then move on to this building on the end from the AlexProdealCenter map. This does have lighting underneath it, and it does have a little farm office just at the back. Just in here. So that's all the sheds, 18 of them. Then we move on to silos. There are 4 silos. We've got a slurry tank, slurry store. The slurry store is 6 slots, 500,000 litre capacity in there. We've got a manure heap. That's 2 slots. We've then got 2 grain silos. The first one is 400,000 litre, well, they're both 400,000 litre actually, and they are multi-fruit as well. I'll show you the multi-fruits they take, but they are both multi-fruit silos. Storage space on the side of this one, larger building, and again shed lights inside. And then the other one is a slightly smaller version in the sandstone without the shed space. Just there, it's under build mode. Silos, we've got these here, 15 grand for the slurry pit, 40 grand for the manure heap, 45 grand each for the 2 grain warehouses, grain silos. And then what I'll do, I'll grab the tractor and just show you. It's pretty much, like I say, it's a multi-fruit, so pretty much standard multi-fruit type items. I do like to check. So as we roll through, actually we're on manure already, but let's go to the start point. Wheat, there we go. So I'll roll through. Not bad at all. So that's the silo portion. Oh, blimey. Portion. From there we go to tools. We've got a weigh station. And we've got a workshop trigger. The weigh station does work, as you might expect. Can we go into that? I don't think we can we? And then the workshop. Now the workshop is an interior workshop, but outside. But the good thing with this is you can place it anywhere you want. If we go into here and we go along to tools, which is where you'll find it. So just here, 20 grand for the weigh station, only 2 grand for the workshop. So I pick one of those, and let's go, for example, to the... What I like about this, it fits in really nicely, if I can get the angle just right. In that gap, we can go right to the back wall, almost exactly. So if I wanted to place it there, I can. Now, admittedly, the shelving goes almost out to the end, and you've got another bit of barn there, but it will fit in that gap. If not, just pick another shed, something else, or it doesn't have to be from this pack. But it does give you the ability then to place it somewhere else, or rotate it that way around, so the actual shelving and stuff is inside the shed, and the actual trigger bit is outside. However you want to go about it, like that. It works really well. I like that. So there you go, under tools, the weigh station and vehicle workshop. Then we come across and we're on to factories productions. So we go to our productions and we roll across on factories. And we start here. Now we have got duplicates, and I've put one of each down. You can see red roof and grey roof. So we have got under the red roof, we've got dairy and fruit and oil press, and then we've got dairy and fruit and oil press. Now these are for the dairies are 10 slots, and the fruit and oil presses are 28 slots, and that's the same on both. You'll see that there you go. So that one says 28 slots and that one says 10 slots, because they're the 2 I didn't pick. And we'll have a look at what those things do and the productions and stuff in there as well. Then we move along a little bit further along. We've got the sawmill, 7 slots, and the country bakery is 14 slots. And that, again, the stuff that can do is absolutely brilliant. Nice looking buildings. We can go into the buildings as well. I think when the productions are running, things stir and all the stuff works. I didn't set everything up to run, but we have got shed lights on and off for the building itself. Roller doors at the back for your productions to grab what you want when it's been produced. But if we click on here to manage production, butter, cheese and chocolate, which is standard for a dairy, but then we've got yogurt with sugar, so we can produce yogurt with sugar as well if we want to. So a nice sweet yogurt if you want to. We come out from there, go next door to the fruit and oil press. Again, I've already opened the door on this one, but lighting in here too. Roll the door at the back. And this production here will do raisins, grape juice, apple juice, sunflower oil, canola oil and olive oil. So it's combining your grape processing unit and your oil factory, oil mill, but also with apple juice. Now I said earlier on, don't worry, we'll get onto those later on. This pack comes with an apple orchard as well. So if you're thinking, well, that's great, where do we get our apples? Don't worry, they got you covered. It's all good. So that's under your fruit and oil press. Go next door to the sawmill. Sawmill's a really nice one. I'm trying to think what map this was on. I remember doing the map tour. Was it Campaign of France? AlexProdealCenter. We've got, just trying to think. Old Stream Farm. Valley of the Old Farm. AlexProdeal. Yeah, Campaign of France. It might have been Campaign of France, I'm thinking. Potentially. But this is a cool one, because once placed, we can do planks, pallets, and turn those off, and the wooden climbing frame tower, so you can build a wooden climbing frame, something a bit different, an extra on top of the normal platinum expansion stuff and all those kind of things, and I like that. Now pallets, don't worry about that as well. Pallets are required for some of the productions in the, or some of the items in this pack, but they got you covered on that as well, so again, don't worry. This is a full-blown mod review, isn't it? Not just that's why I did it separately, to do this as well as all the mods as well. I know people ask, are you going to do the mods too? I don't know. I don't usually retrospectively do them. I'm struggling a little bit today to get the stuff done that I want to do, and they could drop mods again later on today, so I don't know how I'm going to be feeling, but I'll do what I can before I take to my bed. So, last one being the bakery. We've got bread, we've got melon tart. I don't know why I'm clicking on those, stop clicking on them. Melon tart, cake. So bread and cake is normal for a bakery, but melon tart, apple tart, and the Bernion Berrichon, which is basically an apple fritter, apple cake. So that's a nice selection, and again, don't worry, in this pack, the stuff for melons and apples already talked about, that's covered as well, haven't got to worry there, and I kind of alluded to that in the next bit we're going to look at. But anyway, on from the factories, we then come to the sell points. So sell points, there are 2, 6 slots and 7 slots. We've got this one here, the vending machine sell point, just bring stuff here, and it will tip, or whether it's productions on pallets, whatever it might be. But again, really nicely detailed with the items in here. I like that. Then next to that, we've got the sell point 4, the play sets that we make at the sawmill here. So we're going to build mode, go to production, and then go to selling. Just there, 5 grand and 500 for the vending machines and point of sale for stores. And it's not just that, as you can see, you've got the play equipment there, but it does say on the right hand side that will do furniture, wood chip, fabric, pallets, clothing and planks can all be sold at that sell point just there as well. So that's sell points. Then we go from there to greenhouses, of which we have 4. It's kind of making me smile at the moment because I'm trying to work out how to edit this seamlessly between huge coughing fits. Every time one starts, it's like pause recording and then try and... Anyway, so we have 4. This one here, which is the small vegetable garden at 5 grand. We have this one here, which is the small vegetable garden. So we've got 2, I say small, I mean that's small, that's a little bit bigger. And then we've got the large vegetable garden, which is this one here. And then we've got the large greenhouse, which is this one here. And as you can see from the things they do, the first small one, we've got melon, we've got lettuce, we've got all these extra, you know, is it red lettuce? I think it is, added in. And that one just requires straw and water. And what's cool is you've got these slightly raised beds where you're growing stuff between these boards. And when you put the straw in, it puts a straw protective layer. Straw is supposed to stop slugs, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if it does, but it's supposed to stop slugs. Does, that's fantastic. Next one along, so that one just requires water and straw. The next one along requires water, straw and pallets, and then we've got water, straw and pallets for this one here, and then the large one requires water, straw, pallets, manure and solid fertilizer. So it kind of ramps up a little bit, but they're brilliant. They look absolutely fantastic as well. Again, detail on awesome. Yes, red lettuce, there we go. So your standard 3 items, then lettuce and melon. And then this one with the planks, that's what I was going to show you. What did I do with it? I had... Oh, bear with me a second. While I'm retracting the telehandler, it's a good time to talk about the CSZ pack. Now, the CSZ pack did get an update the other day. Part of that update was something I've been talking about a while on various different mod reviews and stuff I've been doing. The big bag handler on the front, which I'm a big fan of, got changed and adjusted in one of the updates. so that if you're using it like I do when you're setting up maps and mods and map tours or whatever it is you're doing, and I can pick up big stacks of things all at the same time. It was changed so it wouldn't do that anymore, but it's been updated now, and that's got a change on it. I'm just going to show you that very quickly. I know it's not part of the mod review, but because it's relevant to what I'm doing now, if we go, for example, telehandlers, and roll along until we get to the big bag handler. A lot of people ask me what ones I use. Big bag handler, CSZ pack, this thing is awesome. We've now got the option on this to change the height of the tension belts, so you can make the tension belts longer, because what was happening was it was grabbing onto trailers and all sorts of stuff as well. So you can have standard at 1.2 meters, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, and back again. So if you go for the longest one, it will pick up multiple things all at the same time. If you don't want to, and you want to just stick to sort of one pallet sized object, you can go for that. So it has been updated for the options to do that. Now, as far as putting pallets in on any of these, if I lift that up there, each one has got a little box on the floor, and that box is empty when you start. You might have to lift this up above it a little bit, and then what will happen is, there you go, when you get to there, it takes them off of there, puts them onto there, and your stack of pallets raises, so that then when your stuff is coming out, the pallets will be on there. Now, if you don't want to make pallets, because the sawmill does produce them, that's part of this pack, if we go into our objects and go to our pallets, and we roll out to the end, pile of pallets, part of this pack, 1,000 litres, 500 for a pile of pallets, and then you can just bring them out as I did, and then each one goes in, fills it all up, and then it just chugs away as it requires it. It's kind of hydroponic really, because you've got the water with the little pipes that are running out along each bed. Very efficient. And then we've got the next one over here, the larger of them, with red lettuce growing. Then we come round into this one. This is really cool as well. A couple of features on this one. This might have been Campaign of France, or was this on the updated version of the Valley of the Old Farm? On the sides, we can close the curtains. We open up the main door. So again, straw, manure, got a water point, pallet point, solid fertiliser. All in here. We're growing melons in this one. And then we have got on the other side here another winding handle for this side. You have one open, both open, whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you. So that's the greenhouse portion. Moving on from greenhouses, oh yeah, orchards. So under build mode and under orchards, I put 3 down here. But these are your apple orchards for the various different items, whether it be the bakery or the oil press for making your apple juice. We go into build mode, go to our production, and then go to orchards. Just there, 5 grand. We'll give the option to place them. I keep saying overlap with another object. I'm not sure what it's overlapping with. Could be the stuff on the ground, the grass maybe. And then place, and then just water in. And when we come up to it, I think it takes 12,000 litres. And then, yeah, we're already running. I've set it on storing. You can set it to distributing if you want to. So your apples can get picked for you and taken to whatever facilities are utilising them at that particular time. So that's under orchards. We then move on to animal pens. Now I hit the limit on animal pens. I've got a funny feeling Black Sheep modding are quite fond of cows, because the animal pastures in this pack, there are 9 cow pens. There's 1 horse pen. There are 3 pig pens, 2 sheep pens, 1 chicken pen. Did I talk about that? I didn't talk about the slot counts and all everything, did I? The greenhouses were 5 slots, 9 slots, 9 slots, and 12 slots. The orchards were 5 slots each. Now move on to animal pens. So I'm not going to show you all of them, because I couldn't put them all out. But what I'll do, if we go to animal pens, we go to cows, we'll roll to here first. So this is the first one we've got. 65 gram will hold 50. And this is beef, so it's stall for beef cows. There's no nothing on there for milk, because they're not designed for that. It's just for beef animals. But interesting, there's not I mean, it's got that there, but it's not showing a trigger. I said some of the triggers, I'm not sure. We've got the feed point, we've got a dialogue box either end, but there's nothing showing for slurry. So even if they weren't producing milk, you'd think they would be producing slurry. That's the first one. Then we go along to the next one there, 105 grand, we'll do 120 cows. That's the cow barn. Again, This one I couldn't get it to work. Couldn't get the animals in it because the dialogue box trigger is showing out here. Then we've got a trigger there. I wasn't sure if that was slurry or milk. I couldn't work it out. And then we've got one here. I couldn't open this door. Slurry point is there. So I'm not sure if the animal pens might need a bit of fiddling around with. But then we move on to this one here. Cow barn without meadow. That'll hold 100. That's 95 grand. I've got some cows in that one. Then we're going to whiz across because I'd placed some other ones out. We've then got cow barn, so we've got the same building, but then it's got with 40 by 60 meadow, which I'll show you again in a moment. We've then got 140 by 60 meadow, so it's the same building, as you can see, same building with a little bit in the end. Now this one has got 140 by 60 meadow, which runs all the way down here, so that's much bigger. Then we move across, and then we've got the same buildings again. So that's that cow building we first saw, but these ones have then got a feed robot as well. So you've got the robot on there as well, and then you've got the 40 by 60, which I think is the one we've gone for here. So that's the smaller one. So that one was the 140 by 60 without robot. This is the 40 by 60 with robot, and then there's 140 by 60, which is basically this one, but it has a robot. Did I go for that one? Or is that the standard one? It might be the standard one, which will be this one here. Cow barn without meadow and with feeding robots. That's this one here. So I kind of hit my limit on them, and the robot comes out and round into the doors, does a loop round, comes back and comes round again on the hour. It does require mineral feed as well. And these ones all seem to be alright with the slurry points, milk points and that kind of stuff. Dialogue boxes all seem to work. Which was curious. And then the final one, sorry, I didn't even say what all those held, did I? 150, 150. The cow feeding one was 100. Yeah, so the ones that don't have the meadows are 100, and the ones that do have the meadows are 150. And the prices with the robots are a little bit more, as you might expect, 155, 185, 195. And without the feeding robot, we had 95, 125, 125. And then we move on to that cow barn there. It won't let me place that. That one will do 250 cows. It's got a slight little pass on the side, but I'm at the limit. But it does have one on there as well. So quite a few under cows. Then under horses, we've got this one over here. I'll show. We'll go around and have a look at some of them. Don't worry. It's like a horse box for 2 horses out on the end there. 15 grand. Slot count of 4 comes down to 1. The slot counts for all the cows, they were I think 10 was the lowest. It was 10, 19, then it was 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 18 for all the cow barns and buildings. So there wasn't a single cow barn or building above 20 slots. So that's the horses that will do 2. Again, we'll have a look at those in just a moment. We then go from horses to pigs, and the pigs we've got 3. So I've placed this one here. So this pigsty, 45 grand will do 60. We've got this one here, enclosed. That will do 60 for 40 grand. And then we've got the same one, but with a little pasture sort of pen to the side of it. That will do 60. It's just got a little bit of space on the outside. So it depends on what space you've got in your farm. And then under sheep, we've got 2. So we've got this one here, I think was the one I placed just there. That will do 100 sheep, 45 grand. The pigs were 10, 12 and 12 slots. The sheep are 13 and 9 slots. So that one for 45 grand will do 100. That one for 45 grand will do 100, but that one has got a pasture on it as well. And then finally, chickens. Nothing under bees. Under chickens, we've got 1 chicken coop for 150. That's this one here, and it's open. As you can see, the chickens are all just wandering around. That's 13 slots, comes down to 1. 15 grand as it is. Now we're going to look around all of those in just a moment, but while we're in the menu, we then go from there into decoration, under fences, and we do have some fencing in this pack as well. So we have got fence and gate. Oh, hang on. And then we've got the gate as well. Depends on which way around you do it. There we go. It's not going to reach, is it? I'll do it that way, it's fine. And then we got the So that's the sort of red sandstone look, and then we've got the grey version, which matches up with all the buildings, all the houses, stuff. You want to put walls between everything. If you're building a big farmyard, it's just again duplicate of the same thing. This is just the grey instead. Actually, what I will do, let's put the gate in first, go that way, and then I'll put the wall from there. There we go. To the wall that side. So we have got fencing as well, and then finally under decoration and others, if I roll back this way, we've got 4 decorative houses as well. Each one $1,000. Each one, actually no, not each one. Must be duplicates again. We've got 6 slots, 4 slots, 4 slots, 6 slots. So we'll look at one of those again, sandstone. That's that one. If we look at all of them, doesn't matter, does it? While we're here, why not? That's why it goes from 6 to 4. A lot less detail on that one. Slightly different look on the outside to that. Almost like Pebble Dash look to that. So, and brief. So the beef one, that it seems like ages ago we looked at, for your beef stock. Like I say, there's nothing showing for the slurry trigger there, which has got me. It's interesting that some of them seem to have double dialogue box. If I come to this one, nothing is showing. This is where the trigger's showing, but I've got nothing come up top left as to how to put my animals in. So I don't know if the triggers on this one are on the wonk a little bit. They seem to be off. So I've got the option to open gate, but not for dialogue box. This one I'm not sure about. So potentially we'll get an update. This pack maybe. I did try in each of the doorways, and again I don't know if that trigger's supposed to be here for the slurry. I don't know if this is a milk one, but I couldn't get this door to open, which was a bit of a weird one. But this one worked absolutely fine. As you can see, dialogue box is fine. We've got cows inside that one, and then as far as your milk trigger goes, that matches up. So yeah, it's only a couple of bits here and there. And the slurry point, that one's around the back, so not sure. As we go past the horses, we'll have a look at the horse one as well. So the horse is just here, dialogue box at the front, gate to open for their riding and exercise. Feed point, actually I know what I do need to check. Under the horses was water, no, just straw and food. Doesn't say anything about water. I'll say there didn't seem to be a water trigger, and that would be why. This was the pig one. Feed trough, dialogue box, storage at the side just there. Now if we move over to look at one of the ones with the robot, the various different ones we saw from the air. That was the really long meadow one on that, 140 by 60 was it? But again, the detail on all of them, absolutely brilliant. There's your milk point, that matches up, no problem at all. Dialogue box, just here. Cows are in there. I didn't put any feed or bedding or anything like that in, because this is the one without the pasture. Then you have got the option for various different options: standard with small pasture, larger pasture, then with robot, standard, smaller pasture, larger pasture, as we saw already. Then we come across, we've got the sheep pen, chicken pen, and then the fencing, and then hopefully is that it? I think I might have covered everything. I haven't actually counted it all up. I assume that totals 60. Here's our sheep. Dialogue box at the front. Feed in here. Wall pallets will spawn just under here. Yeah, dialogue box either end on this one as well. And then the chickens, the chickens out here. Feed it in. Chickens here, and they're all out and about in the grass, just having a great old time. They seem very happy. Now I'm not sure where the egg pallets spawn on this one, whether it's inside here or whether it's up on these potentially. There's no obvious, there's not like a hazard mark thing on the ground or anything like that. Anyway, that's the chicken pen. And the walls we talked about already. This one opened in, didn't it? I went the other way around. There we go. To match up. And that's the pack. That's the 60 buildings pack by Blacksheep Modding. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.